Actually, you know what's a hot outfit for a man to wear in bed is a white T-shirt and black socks. And you're just like, I'm such an ugly pig man.
That spaghetti stains on it.
Yeah, I'm just like such a dad. It's like my buddy Dan goes, smelling a woman's ass is a poor man's Viagra. Because you're grossed out by how much you like it. And you're like, I'm a fucking pig. And then boing. And by the way, people always say, don't get in the weeds with Crowder or Shapiro. They will destroy you. And I always say, screw that. I'm not scared of Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro.
Because I would hope not.
And if Hillary wins, I know on a personal level, I'm going to go from a funny guy in a Hawaiian shirt to a dark, satanic, evil dude who lives alone in a one-bedroom. I wake up at 8 p.m. and do sit-ups and then just start practicing at the gun range. It's going to go dark.
We're in a weird era where it's like a philosophy age. We're all Romans all of a sudden, like Socrates sitting here philosophizing. And you kind of have to make everyone know exactly where you stand on this spectrum. Because if you're slightly right of center, you're alt-right and you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
And you go, no, those guys hate me. But I hate these guys, so I'm here. And I always say to these people, play it through. So he wants genocide. Trump wants genocide. Okay, so he wants to kill what? Blacks and Mexicans? So there's a van that drives to this house in New Orleans and picks up these black people, and then they what? They go to a gas chamber? How does this work? What happens to their property? Is that divvied up? Does the state own that now? Like, are you talking about the Cuban Revolution? The irony is, by the way, whenever you start describing their universe, you end up describing Venezuela, Cuba, socialist countries, or you end up describing the Middle East. Oh, he's going to what? Throw gays off buildings? He's going to start stoning women to death who are rape victims? You have your villains right there, but you're purposely ignoring them. You know Iron Man has that blue thing in his chest?
Yeah.
I don't think women are evil. Women are like Iron Man. They're magic, right? But by ripping out that blue thing, you're ripping out their ability to have children and be mothers and everything. And then you put in a piece of shit into Iron Man's chest. That's what feminists and like this woman are. They're shit chests. And they're malfunctioning robots, and they're like, bzz, bzz, kill him. Milo wants genocide. Kill him. Bzz,
so
fuck
do you
him
think
up.
that they're...
And that's the problem with their utopia. It keeps making things worse and worse and worse for them.
Yes.
Like even abortion and immigration. In Canada now, they're pouring all these Indians in like pancake batter. And Indians prefer to have boys than girls. And they're starting to have gender-based abortions, where they go, I don't want to have a girl hanging around here. Let's keep aborting till we get a boy. Oh. And you go, hey, liberals.
Is that real?
Yeah. Like when I would go in my old company with my buddy Sebastian, who's a very handsome man, much younger than me, looks like a Greek god. And we would be looking in the mirror, at the hotel, we're getting ready. And he would go, look at you. Look at you. You look like a raisin. You look like you're a million years old. Look at those crow's feet. And you look like a worm who was rubbed around on the floor of a barber shop. And then he goes, and look at me. Look at me, I'm an Adonis. Look at this hair. And it's funny because it's true. I don't go on a blog and start crying. That's how we insult each other.
I know.
We had a guy in high school who had mental illness, who was schizophrenic. He went in and out of mental institutions. His nickname was Crazy Ryan.
Did he ever recover?
I don't think so, no. Oh, no, he did. He has a kid now and stuff. He wanted to kill me because I let it out that he was Crazy Ryan about 10 years ago. So I'm sure he's going to be back in my life very soon.
Lock the door.
And there's this myth that they hate us because of our foreign policy or something. They hate us because we're infidels, and the Quran says destroy all infidels. Who's harder on Muslims than Muslims? They're totally insatiable. I mean, you can have a burqa on in Saudi Arabia, and some guy's going to come up and go, really? Purple socks? Are you kidding me? He was the first to make it a central political argument. This whole thing, build a wall, build a wall. And by the way, it's not a pipe dream. They owe us $50 billion in trade deficit. When you go to a restaurant and you sit in the same booth to the tune of $50 billion net for that restaurant, you can start asking for stuff. You can start asking for a diamond booth with naked ladies dancing on it.
Yeah, I think business-wise, people are completely misestimating the leverage that we would have on Mexico. Their leaders just said, nope, we're not going to do it. And if he says no, what are you going to do? They're already poor as dirt. Are you going to harm their credit rating? You go to war with Mexico? I don't know how you do it.
You deny them $50 billion in trade.
I'm going to say, okay. I think they'd sooner go with that than pay for a wall.
Good. Thank God. That would be wonderful. Now we have manufacturing back here. Okay, so that's one big issue. And then also, I saw a guy. We were on Jamaica on vacation, and it was an all-you-can-eat thing. And he he had his plate, and he must have been Irish. He piled on 3 huge spoonfuls of mashed potatoes. It took up most of his plate. And I'm looking at him going, we're in fucking Jamaica. There's jerk chicken, all this fancy shit. And you're using up your whole meal on mashed potatoes, you
That bothers
fucking
you?
Mick. And I hated him for the rest of the trip. I think I needed someone to hate on the trip. So I would see him and he'd just be like eating an ice cream cone. And I'd just go, fuck you. Dr. Drew says this. He goes, the reason that Scots are drunks is they like conflict, so they'll put a war in their body. So they're going, oh, walking is hard. I'm giving myself a handicap. So we like struggle. We like pain.
That's fascinating.
Even in fucking, I'm never totally enjoying it. I'm always like, I gotta last longer. Think of Kevin Spacey. Do the alphabet
Kevin
backwards.
Spacey?
Yeah.
What do you think of? When do you think of Kevin Spacey?
Oh, dude,
do you think of
you're
Kaiser
gonna thank me.
Sose?
You're gonna call me tomorrow and go, thank you so much. My wife can't walk today. You imagine Kevin Spacey's head floating over the bed.
Okay.
Not like dismembered and bleeding,
Right,
just
right.
like his face doing nothing, just
staring at you?
staring at you, and
Do
it
you
buys
imagine-
you 2.5 minutes.
Do you imagine him as Kaiser Sose or as Frank Underwood?
I don't have strong feelings about him. Like, I've never seen that House of Lies show
House of
or
Cards?
House of Cards.
Good show.
Okay, sounds
Very
great.
good show.
New York College Republicans invited me to do a talk, and everyone's giving the finger, racist, Nazi, we don't want the KKK. You're like, the KKK, really? That'd be funny if we just showed up on horses in Klansman uniforms, like, ka-dum, pa-dum, ka-dum, pa-dum, dum. Nee, we're here to do our KKK talk, boy. Get out of my way. Anyway, so we get there, and I'm with Proud Boys. We're surrounded. Everyone's going, fuck you, yeah. And in retrospect, I should have just started snapping fingers and macing people. I regret not playing their dirty tricks, because when we finally got to the door, someone pepper sprayed me in the eyes, which is very, very painful. I gotta say, wow, it's a wake-up call.
Fuck you!
It only lasts for about 20 minutes, and I went into the bathroom after. I'm sort of jumping ahead in the story, and I was washing my eyes out, and I thought, how do I know it's not acid? Like, what if I'm gonna be disfigured now, and I'll be on the cover of National Geographic, like the face of free speech, and I'll be that guy forever, like the guy. I feel like burn victims are super nice, you know? I'll be like with a puppy and a little kid. Hi, I'm just a regular guy.
My theory with Milo is, I think his eyesight's getting worse. His glasses are getting thicker and thicker, and he's sort of going, this is my moment to make an impact. So he's just like...
What, you think he's going blind?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, are you just theorizing this?
Yeah.
He's only like 28.
Yeah.
But you look at him, he just
Look at his
can't
reading
read
glasses.
that good.
They're insane.
Really?
Yeah, and they're getting thicker. But I think he's trying to make a maximum impact in a short amount of time.
Because you think he doesn't have much time left? That's such a... He seems healthy.
He
Last time
also
I saw
seems
him, he
totally
lost some
reckless.
weight.
In fact, when we were in Orlando, we made out at the site of the...
You guys made out?
Yeah, at the
Why'd
site
you
of the
make out
Orlando...
with Milo?
To offend Muslims.
Wow.
So I said...
What was that
I did a
like?
big speech about freedom and free
How'd he
speech
taste?
in this America. Delicious. Like strawberries.
Well, at least he freshened his breath up before.
No, gays just taste better. I said fuck Islam, and then we made out at the site of the Orlando shooting to annoy Muslims. But we had armed guards and stuff, and I said, all right, I want to make sure these guys are scoping out the roofs and shit.
Yes.
And he goes, I don't care if I die. I'll happily die for this. I was like, well, I do care, actually. I've got 3 kids. And then they just do that in New York. They start making out with each other in front of the Trump building. Like, he's going to go, oh, stop it.
Stop it, I'm evil, I can't see you
I'm
dance.
Gargamel from the Smurfs. I hate that.
He's putting his fist up in the air and he's saying, no way to immigration. And that is a wonderful thing about no way immigration. We are standing up for ourselves.
Okay, Gavin.
Is that why they're not allowed?
No, they are allowed, but only if they sign off on the rape beforehand, I think.
No. Women are not allowed on boats back 100, 200 years ago. But anyway,
But boats. I'm talking about pirate ships. I'm pretty sure there are some women who were raped on pirate ships. I
all
digress. Go
pirate
ahead.
ships are boats. All boats are not pirate ships. And this is the problem with Trump and racism. All cats are mammals. All dogs are mammals. All cats are not dogs. Yes, some racists like him. That doesn't mean he's a racist.
Well, they come up with this concept that the president is pro-hate. So then they go, hey, Trump, I'm against hate. And he goes, that's nice. So they build their straw man, and then they're attacking him and lighting him on fire. And the rest of us are going, I don't care that you're lighting a scarecrow on fire. You look fucking ridiculous. Sometimes he talks like an idiot. They're doing bad things. And then you realize 4 days later, holy shit, that was brilliant. So with the Mexicans thing, these Mexicans are rapists. You go, what? And then you look it up and go, holy shit, 80% of these women get raped crossing the border by these coyotes? Holy crap. And then another example of this, him being 4 steps ahead, is when he says, he's trying to do this travel ban, right? Muslims are a threat to America. And everyone goes, that's crazy. And then he says, the press isn't reporting on the following terrorism cases. This. He lists about 20. So then the media goes, that's not true. We reported on this. We reported on that. We reported on the London bombing. We reported on Benghazi. We reported on this. And then he duped them into talking about terrorism for 3 days straight. All of a sudden, his travel ban looks pretty reasonable.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he's often setting a trap for people that they come bounding into.
Your parents got divorced, and I want you guys to come over to the Trump train, which is why I get so emotional. Your mom got divorced. She has a new boyfriend now, okay? He's your stepdad. And I know he's not your real dad. And you keep screaming, you're not my father, and storming upstairs and slamming the bedroom door. He's the best you got now. He's your dad. So you have to accept that and move on.
I'm even annoyed reliving this story. And the guy says, just a lot of people that love you a lot and are worried about you, man. Is that the worst quote you've ever heard? I'd appreciate it if you could apologise. I couldn't help but notice you were swearing in front of a lady.
You're talking about culture. And it's important to make that distinction as a Western chauvinist, that I think the West is the best. I don't care what race you are. But I don't think that other cultures are different. I think they're worse. And Islam is 500 years behind us. We were shitty. We had witch hunts.
Inquisition.
We had the Inquisition. They're not caught up to us yet. They're not as advanced. And I think two big problems with them as far as progress goes is the Quran is an exceptionally violent book. It doesn't have a 2.0 the way Christians do. And no one ever talks about this, but they have a major problem with inbreeding. They are marrying their first cousins again and again and again. And that makes your evolution go backwards.
I'm just wondering if you really think that sort of stuff occurs in a vacuum.
I do.
It does. Okay.
I think that foreign policy is a tiny fraction of their crazy inbred agenda.
Yeah, Gavin, you're on a slippery slope because that does get pretty racist pretty quick.
It's apples and oranges. I don't have to jump there. I'm talking about inbreeding.
People say apples and oranges.
Muhammad said you can marry your first cousin. Yeah. That is not only a huge problem in Pakistan and throughout the Middle East, it's actually a problem in India because they do it to preserve the family money. Now, you do that once or twice, it's not great. You do that for 40 generations, and it starts dictating the behavior of an entire group of people. And out of Islam, all Muslims, I've seen studies that say about 25% think that suicide bombings sometimes are often justified. That's a lot of people.
What I was confronting originally was, Gavin, frankly, the point that you made.
There's a huge genetic component to this, too.
Yeah, I think that's not...
That doesn't mean you have to apply eugenics to every single problem in the world.
Well, eugenics is bad science, so I'm glad that you wouldn't do that.
But we can say inbreeding is bad, and if it makes you feel more comfortable, I can give you
I'm willing to take a stand against inbreeding with you right now.
And Muslims saying that, no, you can't marry your first cousin. This is causing serious diseases. It's causing all kinds of health problems, and it's making a big portion of us nuts.
Look at Iran in 1965. Mini skirts, woman doing chemistry with test tubes, driving around. Hi, you want to go to the go-go hop later? And now just garbage bags. Gregorian chants everywhere. Irshad Manji in The Trouble with Islam, she says, a weird group of wasabis just hijacked the religion and sent it into the Dark Ages. And I go, yeah, but how were they vulnerable to hijacking? Christianity couldn't be hijacked by the snake guys. So why? And I think a part of it was inbreeding. And every time I bring this up, people go, yeah, what about white people, hillbillies? They were inbreeding, or royalty, they were inbreeding. And I go, yeah. And it went real bad. It was a bad move. We learned the hard way. We saw Deliverance.
Strap yourself in for this. 70% of all Pakistanis are inbred. And in Turkey, the amount is between 25 to 30%. More stillbirths among immigrants. A rough estimate reveals that close to half of everybody living in the Arab world is inbred. A large percentage of the parents said, this is blowing my mind.
I blog posted it before I came here. I also read somewhere that a lot of the symptoms of inbred people are irrational rage,
Put that back on, Jimmy.
fanaticism, and they end up just describing ISIS. People are scared of genetics too because it gets into eugenics and they get uncomfortable. But my thing
it gets
is
into racism too. You know,
racism. But
yeah.
I come from a shitty Glaswegian family. My uncles were drunks, and maybe coming from a shitty group, you develop this immunity to fear of your group sucking. Like
Well,
I
have
don't care what
fear
you
of
say about my
groups.
group.
I'm Italian, mostly Italian. I'm 1/4 Irish, and fucking, I came from a line of savages. They're ape people. You know, there's a good percentage of my ancestors and relatives that I know that are fucking ape people. And I can say that because I know them and I come from them and I have ape people instincts that I fight off every goddamn day
You're
of
an
my
ape
life.
man. The first time I came here, you were trying to separate your spinal cord because you had crushed it from choking people out.
And I brought him a microphone. I said, come up here and you tell me which of my ideas you don't like, and you tell me what your idea is, and we'll discuss it. And he's like, whose campus, our campus? Whose campus? It was really like a broken robot. And one of them, by the way, had a drawing of this on a piece of paper. And he was holding it up at me like this, like, what? You ever heard anything more insane in your life? I mean, maybe it was 1920 and we were at a British private school or something and you're the only one. People are screaming at me, dude. They're saying like, die, scumbag, Nazi. And you have a drawing of a fuck you finger. So insane.
Speaking for myself, I am profoundly lazy.
So you, in your hotel room, you just sit around in your underwear, eating yesterday's hamburger, which was still on the ground, watching an X-Men you've seen 3 times now.
I would do that, but I'm so paranoid about wasting my life because you do die at the end, and I'm 45, and so I feel like, you know, probably not here forever, that I set up things to do constantly. I cannot just sit and waste time because I feel so anxious about death.
That doesn't sound lazy.
I swear to God that's true.
I think you like the idea of being a lazy guy, but you're just
I
genetically
really
not
am.
like-
Oh, it's unbelievable.
No, lazy guys fall asleep watching TV with the spaghetti in a pot, and then they wake up and they flip the spaghetti over and it looks like a seal's stomach. It's still sort of blanched on the bottom because it didn't dry out. And then they just start eating that because the top is dried out. Now, if that's foreign to you, then you're not a genuinely lazy.
Well, I haven't.
By that standard across the board. I know it matters
We're not
to you.
electing a friend, okay? We're not electing someone that we can go and go camping with. We're electing someone who is going to do as little as possible, as far as I'm concerned, and meddle. I don't want him buying Cylindra. I don't want him forcing a healthcare program at gunpoint. I don't want him going to our enemies and doing nuclear deals with them so he can look good and he's showboating for his Muslim friends. I don't want any of that. But the reason I think that Trump is so important right now is because we're living in a real era of shame. We're living in a culture that's anti-masculine. We're living in a culture where we're ashamed of being patriotic. We're changing the name of Columbus Day. And what Trump is saying with the Make America Great Again is make America proud to be great again. We know we're great, but all this capitulation and shame, and how many genders do you want me to say? It really is it's our death knell.
Hi, Chuck.
Yo, what's up, man?
Can you tilt the mic more up to your face, please?
Sure, I don't know that it works, though.
Oh,
Maybe it's just for show.
this is just your computer mic
Yeah.
next to a fancy mic.
I can't figure out how it works. I need to have my tech person come over. Or I can just figure it out later by reading the manual.
Yeah, you plug it into the USB port on your computer, and then you go into system preferences and check
so that's
mic input. Yeah, that's your problem right there. Yeah, that's your problem right there.
And the Nazis cut off Holland from all supplies, so they were forced to eat tulips. And a lot of them, hundreds of thousands of them, starved to death. And Audrey Hepburn was from that world, and she was a skinny chick who didn't need a lot of food. All of her ancestors' kids became obese, big giant fat pigs. And they say it could have been genetic memory where their bodies went, holy shit, you found Doritos? I'm going to hold on to this because you're never going to find one again. Then you get and I've noticed this in LA with all these Mexicans I see everywhere. They seem more obese than the general populace. And I think they have genetic memory from a generation or two ago where food was scarce and their bodies hold on to it. The fact that a cell can remember this through generations, like, have you ever heard of cell memory?
Yeah.
Where you get an eye transplant and all of a sudden you're seeing the guy that killed that guy? I think it was on 60 Minutes, but I know genetic memory is a real thing. Maybe they're right. Maybe gays should be thrown off buildings. They've scientifically proved it. Maybe a lot of these rape victims are bitches that should have stones thrown at them.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding, internet.
Look, he had a bad week because of women. He lost women last week because he poo-pooed Khan, the wrath of Khan, as Ann Coulter puts it, and he shouldn't have done that. You're supposed to be reverent when someone dies in battle, and he didn't appreciate that because he's got that New York attitude of if someone hits you, you punch them back twice as hard. That works in business. It doesn't always work in politics.
To lower the bar so everyone can get in, we have all these retarded classes. There's a class at NYU called 20-something, where it's just about being 20-something. Done. Everyone there is 20-something. And you go, now you've just wasted your time by not admitting that some people are special. And that's what I was getting at earlier with the Western culture thing. Some cultures are better. Some are more advanced. Michael Jordan, you throw him in Africa, and there'd be like, you have to meet this man who is in the Congo. He can jump 1,000,000 miles in the air. His name is Juju Jordan. And he has like a leather basketball, and I don't know what it is. I am so good at this. He would be flown over like Jeremy Lin or whatever. And I think Jimmy Kimmel and you are the same. They get fucked over. I've done it a million times. I've thrown my career down the toilet, and then I just keep flying through the sewers and pop. I come out of another manhole. But I did that with advertising. I got involved in advertising. I hated advertising.
That's
Built up an agency, sold it for millions. Then we got fired because I said shitty stuff about trannies. They push you down and say, you suck, you're a fag, you suck. So when you're 18 and you go, no, I'm not, you come leaping out and you're too you. You're like you dipped in you sauce. So instead of going, no, I'm not a fucking loser, I'm just gay, you go, I'm gay, ha ha. I went to a coming out party once, and the guy burst out of a giant paper thing, and he goes, I'm here, it's great to be here, and it's great to be gay.
Sometimes I'm a man, sometimes I'm a woman, but I'm always a human. Like, okay. You know, like, I don't know.
By the way, I
maybe.
don't care. That's the other thing about, I'm not a homophobe, I'm a homo bored. I don't care who you fuck. Like, when you make out in front of my building, have a nice French session. I don't fucking give a shit about
You made out with Milo.
You.
Yeah.
Ooh, and you see that? I see that sometimes with black and white couples. Like in New York, they'll be walking the train holding hands and looking indignant. You know, hi, we're in love. Got a problem with that? Oh, congratulations. You're fucking someone you're attracted to. Woo! Way to go out there and blow minds. You poor thing. You're sucking your boyfriend's dick. I'm stunned.
With feminism, they're being dishonest in their portrayal of the issues of the workplace.
Well, you end up going, you guys are making me think women are dumb. So I don't like that women's march. I go, you guys are out, I don't know what you're out to prove here, that your pussy has teeth? You're making women look dumb. Even the abortion thing, 50% of women are pro-life. So why are you making this a gender issue? It's an ethics thing. It's like euthanasia, but it has nothing to do with men or women. I dated an escort once.
Did you?
She was molested as a kid.
Ooh.
So for sex, for her, we had to go super intense. Like public humiliation. She wanted me to slap her in a grocery store and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Because intimacy had been ruined by dad.
Oh, God.
So that we had to leap over that and get right into mean stuff.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
The protesters know I'm not that guy deep down. Like, it's sort of like when you watch those ghost hunter shows and they go, yeah, we heard some disturbances downstairs. Those guys don't believe in ghosts. They're bullshitting. It's a good gig, hunting ghosts. So they pretend to believe in ghosts. They don't believe in ghosts. And these people don't believe in these fascist Nazis. They just thought... So when I was that guy, they thought, what the hell's going on? This game just became real. It's sort of like if you were to kill a goth. He's like, no, I don't really want to die.
And what I have to say to you two is, I don't understand why you think that you have the privilege to sit there and go, I don't like either of them. I don't support either of them. You don't have a choice anymore. You have to choose one of them. It's an ultimatum. So you are voting for Trump, Andrew.
I'm voting for Trump, but then I'm probably going to just hide away in my room in the darkness and weep for years to come after them.
Yeah.
In shame.
Can we count on your vote too, Stephen?
He has till election day to win my vote. I will tell you what was a big change for me.
No, the Trump train, boys.
Yeah, I will tell you what it was.
You know what? Speaking of Bill Maher, he doesn't have kids. Angela Merkel doesn't have kids. There's this lack of connection that these childless people have in our media and in our political system. And there's an anti-kid culture going on that is ethnomasochism combined with laziness, and it really is our death knell in many ways. Like when I'm in Williamsburg with my fucking stupid dog that I would happily kill right now. And
why would you kill your dog?
I feel nothing for this dog. It's my daughter's dog. It's a little Havanese puppy. I don't fucking know.
It's a puppy? You would kill the puppy?
Well, if it bit one of the kids, I could take a meat cleaver to its head and I would be on the phone as I did it. Like it would be like preparing a chicken for dinner. I feel nothing.
Oh, Jesus.
You're sitting at Fox News and you're looking around the table and you're like, we're sitting here talking about family values and the future of America, and I'm the only person on this entire panel with kids. And I can't help but think that Angela Merkel's suicidal policy of bring in the refugees and fuck the whole country up is somehow linked to her childlessness. When you have skin in the game, you go, I don't fucking care if you hate me. I got to make sure that things are kosher for the boys. Like Dana Lash. She was a feminist raver with big fucking Jinko jeans in college and chain wallet. And then she saw what feminism was doing to young boys and making them ashamed of being men. And she had boys. She went, whoa, we created a monster here. And pivoted and became all about saying masculinity is A-okay. Fuck these feminists. We were wrong. My life, my kids will never be able to read all the articles I've written or watch all the videos I've done. They'll never get through them all. They can watch them for 100 hours if they're bored, but there's way more of my brain permanently out there in the cosmos than they could ever want.
Oh, yeah,
and
for sure.
pictures and everything.
Yeah.
So the next generation, your dad isn't really going to die. You can just hang out with him whenever you want. My wife would there'd be a basket by the front door for clothes that she has to take off when she comes home.
You make her, huh?
Yeah, nude lady.
Rules.
High heels. Oh,
What
I'm
would
getting
you
a
wear?
boner just thinking about it.
Leather underwear?
I would wear leather pants and an oversized baseball hat. The cap peak comes out about a foot.
A flat brim?
Yeah. I'd have a guitar player, plastic guitar, not
How about a
plugged in.
ukulele?
I'd have a ukulele too, and clown shoes.
You're sticking your nose in it while you're eating her out from behind. Joey Diaz calls that doing the pigeon.
We're piggish.
You can punch me in the face. You can kill me. You can put bear mace in my eyeballs. I'm still right, and you still lost.